Okay. You can hear me. Okay, good. So we can commence the class. Just a brief of what happened yesterday. This is an accounting software that assists bookkeepers or accountants in keeping financial transactions and recording expenses for the business and recording income that is generated for the business and recording fixed assets or non-current assets and current assets that are generated for the business, and also recording liabilities, both non-current liabilities and current liabilities that are accrued for the business. In fact, accounting software is a system replica of the book version or the Excel version. So Excel, just like I said yesterday, is not an accounting software, but it can be designed in such a way that it can undo bookkeeping process, but is not as efficient and effective as this accounting software would be. Now, since you are using this software, you have to inform, and I said again yesterday, that computers are garbage in, garbage out. So since this is an accounting software, it doesn't have any information about your business. So since it doesn't have any information about your business, it thereby means that you have to inform the software about the people you do business with. Your vendors, you have to register vendors, you have to create them. Your customers, you have to also create all your customers, existing one and new one. Your employees, you have to also inform the software that you have employees that you pay salaries to, right? Then the services and whether services or goods that you buy and sell, we also need to inform the software. By these claims, by these statements I just made now, that was what gave birth to us creating or doing some of those setup yesterday. So just like I said, just like I promised that I'm going to do a little bit of Riaz. I'm going to summarize what happened yesterday for us. Okay. So first thing first, we created the file, the company file. As you can see, if you have the PDF training manual, you see that we're instructed to create Bookify Ventures. Okay, so we've done that successfully. But if you still want to edit any information about the company's information, you can still go to my company. So once you click on my company, from company menu, then you would see that we have some informations here. Over to the right here, there is a pencil-like icon. I'm going to click on that. So as I click on that, I have the opportunity to input the address, fax, phone number, email address. If there are any legal information, I can also add that here. Company information, I can also add that here. Fiscal year is January to December. Payroll tax submission information and that. Okay, we are not going to that place today. Now, secondly, we need to create the items that we want to buy and sell. How do we create those items? Now, this is a type 2 bar. This is the menu bar. I love using this icon here. Now, if you look over here, we have list menu. Please, we want to inform the software that we have services and goods that we do buy and sell. Where do we go to? Go to list and come down to item list. So I'm going to click on item list. There are other ways you can access your item information, but I'm just going to go with list so that I don't get us confused, since this is the first time some of us are seeing the software. Now here, initially as at yesterday, it was empty. So we're the one that created for Ankara fabric. But how do we go about creating Ankara fabric? You right click, you can right click, you can see the new button, or you click on this item here, and you go to new. So once you click on new button there, you have the options to select the various types of items you want to create. So for our own purposes, we are dealing in buying of Ankara fabric and selling, buying and selling our Ankara fabric. So it therefore means that we want to go for inventory parts. If I click on this inventory part, quickly look at this here. You see used for goods purchased, track, and resell, right? So you purchase them, you track them, and resell. Of course, this meets with the definition with what it is we are buying. Of course, if you buy Ankara fabric, you want to be able to know how many you have in store. You want to be able to know how many you've bought. You want to be able to know how many you've placed on purchase order. You want to also be able to know how many you've placed on sales order so that you don't go and sell what you've already promised a customer that you have available. Then how many you've said, who you've sold to. You can also check the reports to see per persons, per customers, to see who bought who what. So this is where we went to create. If you look at the link I dropped in the WhatsApp group, I dropped the link to the previous video, yesterday's video. You can also go there for your reference. I'm only here today to show us one or two basics. So this is for the items. Now, I love using these open windows. These open windows assist us to minimize. So instead of closing each window you open, you can just click on open window. You have the list, just like your Android phone or your smartphone or your iPhone. Of course, I know of Android, you can minimize, you can minimize. You see the list of windows, list of places you are actually gone to, and you can click them for similarly. So here, you can click on home. I want to see the home page. I love seeing this home page. But this home page is a graphical representation of how you can move. Look at, for instance, if you create an invoice, you can go to receive payment, and you can also go to record deposits. If you create a statement charges, you can go to create a statement and then make receipt payments. If you go to purchase order, you can receive inventory, you can enter bill against inventory. All this information are also important. So I love using this diagram because it will assist you to know where to go next. Now, not just that, all this information that you're seeing here on this dashboard, they are all available on this menu bar. So let's quickly look at the vendors, for instance. See vendor center, we have bill tracker, enter bill, pay bill, purchase order, receive item and enter bill, receive items, enter bill, and see all of them. We have them on this vendor center. This screen is divided into at least 6 or 7 or thereabouts. I see one here is vendor. Over here is customer. Everything here is for customer. If you go to customer menu, you also see that we have those information. I think I wrongly clicked on customer center. See, we have customer center. We have create estimate, sales order, invoice, batch invoice, create a statement, receive payments. All these are also there. Then you see employee. Over here, you see your banking section, and over up here, you have your chart of your company where you have chart of accounts, your item and services. This is the other place I see you can go to instead of going to list here and the item list where we want to put our items. Now that settles that. So next, you've created the item. You are going to sell to someone, or you are actually going to buy from a vendor before you can sell to someone. This will necessitate you to go and create a vendor, someone you need to start buying these goods from, right? So how do you go about buying these goods from these people? You have to create them first. You have to inform the software that you have people you buy items. So that's why we went to vendor, yeah, and vendor center. Vendor center. Now from the vendor center, you have the opportunity to create. So now for now, we only have local market, just like we were instructed to create for local market. So we only have for local. So if you want to create new, you click on new vendor here and escape it to the other place. I'm going to click on escape from my keyboard so that I close this window. Next is the customer. So I'll click on customer and go to customer center. They have a similar uh, outlook. They have a similar look. So you also click on the new customer over here and you select new customer. So that was what we did yesterday before we now created invoice, we sold on credit, We also sold on cash. We also check our reports to see how those transactions affect our reports. So this brings us to today's lesson. So today we're supposed to continue with number 9. So please, is there anybody, is it number 9 or number 8? Do we have, can you please check, do we all have the PDF? Please, can you just notify? Do you all have the PDF manual training? Please, you can notify if you all have the PDF manual thing, because I send it to each and every one that provided their Gmail. Do we all have that? So if you have them, you can go to number 8. So we stopped at number 7 yesterday, and today we are going to go for number 8. So number 8 says we should recording of bill. So credit purchase of office supplies. So we're going to buy office supplies from ABC Stationery. Now, from ABC Stationery. So it means now that we are buying an item from ABC Stationery, it means it's compulsory upon us to register ABC here. Now, there is another way you can do that. Remember, I said if you want to create for vendor, you go to vendor here and go to vendor center. Then we are going to create for ABC. I'm going to click on vendor, new and new vendor. I'm going to click on new vendor. We only have local market for now, but now we want to buy. So as I said yesterday, vendor are anybody you make payment to, apart from yourself and employee. So if you make payments to AEDC, Abuja Electrical Distribution Center or whatever, here in Abuja, you create them as. Then if you pay to FRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, they are also your vendor. If you pay to your suppliers of goods and services, they are also your vendor. Anybody like this are your vendor. So here now, I'm going to create ABC. Now, ABC. So how did I even know that we don't have ABC? I'm going to click on escape on my keyboard so that I close this window. You see here, we only have local markets. Now, the instruction is to create a bill. So let's go and create a bill. Where do we see creating of bill? You can see creating of bill from your vendor menu because it has to do with vendor. Enter bill. So we want to create a bill to purchase office supplies. Remember, office supplies is not inventory. Office supply is not inventory. Office supply is an expense, operational expense. So we are not receiving inventory. We are not going to this other one. This is receive item. We are not using receiving item, except you want to track your office supplies. Of course, you are welcome to include it here. But if you're not tracking your office supply, if you're just getting these items for office supplies purposes to consume, like operational expenses, please go to enter bill. So I'm going to click on enter bill. We're going to come back to this vendor center, most likely, or not. But of course, we still need to create the vendor. So I want to show you now, this is a bill. Now, if you use enter bill, it will take you to the expense side. If you go to the item tab here, it means you want to get inventory and services related. As you can see, this is Ankara fabric. But if you go to the expense side, this is what we want to do. We want to incur expenses for office supplies. Now let's click on the vendor drop down and see if we have ABC stationery. Of course, we don't have ABC stationery. And this software is not a magician that it will by itself create this. So now I can simply just click on this add new. It will eventually take me to this vendor center or maybe create new. So I'll click on add new. Once you click on add new, that's taking me to new vendor. So this is still the same place it took me to when we clicked on the new vendor from the vendor center module. So I'm going to click on this ABC. So ABC stationery. ABC stationery. This information alone is good to go. Now, bought office supplies worth 15,000 from ABC stationery on credit. Yes, very, very important. Why are we creating bill? Bill in this software means we are buying on credit. So that's the meaning. Just like yesterday when we created invoice, Invoice meant you are selling your goods to customers on credit to receive the payment later. But as we also did for cash sales, we did not use invoice. Rather, we used sales receipt. You can also make reference to yesterday's video to get more clarification. So next, we are going to buy office supply from this vendor worth 15,000. So now we've already created, we are in process of creating ABC stationery. So that's the only information I need, and I can go ahead, click on. Okay, so now you click on the drop down, you have ABC stationery and local market. So I'll go for ABC stationery. Now I'll click on the account. Now remember, if you don't have office supplies created in your chart of account, you should not expect it to come out. So already, I think this software, when we created the company file for Bookkeeper Ventures, it helps us to suggest some kind of expense item. So that's why we still have office supplies. Otherwise, we are going to create the office supplies from the chart of account. So someone might ask, where should we go to see the chart of account? We go to list. The first one there is check account. So check account is where you see all your income item account, your expense item account, your balance sheet item account, which is asset, liability, equity. So income and expenses. So you can see over here, we have expenses. So this is the office supply that you're seeing. That's why we're able to call it from the enter B window. Otherwise, you have to create it. So how much? 15,000 naira, and that is good to go. So I'm going to click on save and close. Okay, I think the network is stable. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do, I love doing, if you're my yesterday's class, is I love checking our reports. So let's go to reports. I'm going to quickly go to reports and go to company and financial. Let me open profit and loss. Of course, we purchase. We are not supposed to see anything affecting income, but the expense aspect, which is office supply. You can see this is the operational expenses. We procured 15,000. As of yesterday, we are having a gross profit of 7.5 and a net income of 7.5. But now we are incurring an expense that's above the net income. So we are incurring expense additional of 15,000, that we are having negative 7.5. With this, the record is correct. So you don't need to, just like I said yesterday, you don't need to actually go and start creating how to post, let's link, let's do debit and credit. Of course, there is journal entry. We'll also look at that. Now, from the balance sheet aspect, you can see we have an account payable of 140,000. But the transaction we just made now was just for 15. So what should we do? You can double click on that. So let's click. You see the breakdown of what makes up this 140,000. Over here, you see yesterday, which is 21st of June, there was a transaction from local market that will. Sorry for that. I think the network tripped off. So let me share my screen again. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something before the second batch of the class. This should be concluded in 6:25 or 6:30. Okay, so we are back. So we can continue now. So now, uh, okay, so now from ABC 15,000. So this is also good. But there are also other reports you can also check for your payables. So this is vendor payables and also purchases. Purchases by vendor summary. If I click on this, I'll be able to see that I bought some item from some particular vendors. So you can see from local market. Now you check your date. Let's use all. Okay. So we also go back to transaction by account. Let's quickly see something. So ABC stationery, office supply of 15,000. Now, the next is paying bill. Now we want to pay for the bill. So if you go to number 9, you pay ABC stationery for the office supply. So you are paying the entire 15,000 that we are owing ABC. If you go to reports, want to see specifically for vendor balance summary. So you can see ABC stationery 15,000, local market 125,000. So I want to pay ABC. So how do you pay ABC? From here, you have banking menu. So it is from your bank that you make payment from. I'm going to go to write check. But this is wrong. If you are paying bill, please don't go to write check. Sorry, the what is it called? Let's see. Yes, that is number 9. Yes, don't go to write check because write check means cash payment, right? Cash if you want to incur expense and you are paying at the same time. That's when you go to write check. But if you've already bought something on credit initially and you want to pay back, use pay bill. There's a feature called pay bill. And where do you see that? You go to vendor and you see pay bill. But if you want to also see how it looks from home page, you can see the enter bill that we did initially. You can see the line, the direction is taking us to pay bill. So I'm going to click on pay bill. Now it will show us the list of bills that are available for us to pay. So we're going to select one of them, which is for ABC stationery. So you have to check this ABC stationery and see 15,000. Now, if you come down here, you have to select where you are paying from. So you are paying from, we have Premium Trust Bank. So we're going to be paying from Premium Trust Bank. So I'm selecting that. Then the date at which we are paying, I also select that. So I can just go ahead and click on pay selected bill. Please, again, don't use write check to pay for an existing outstanding bill. Rather, use pay bill. So I don't want to pay more, I'm done. So I just click on done. Again, let's go check our vendor balance summary. It's going to refresh to take effect the recent payment. See, we don't longer have that. So if we go to balance sheet, let's also refresh. You see that we also do not have accounts payable of 140 any longer. The other 15 is out because we made the payment. Now, this is how we go about the record of that transaction. Let's see how many minutes is remaining for this first part of the video. It has not indicated yet, so let's just maybe 6:30 and continue from 6:30. Now the next one is to record expense, is cash purchase. Remember I said if you want to record for cash expenses, you make use of write check. So you don't use pay bill. Pay bill is to pay for the outstanding bill that you've created initially. But write check is used to incur cash expense. You are buying instantly and you are paying instantly. Sorry, I'm slow. I want to be as clear as possible. I want us to understand what I am intending to pass across. Number 10, recording expense. So you see there is a cash purchase. So what are we buying? We bought fuel for 5,000 using cash. So we have to pay for this. Okay. Now, where do we go to? We go to write check. And go to write check from this home page, or you go to the menu banking and write check, or Control W for those who love shortcuts. I'm going to click on write check. Now from write check, we will be given the option to select the bank we are paying from. Now, you click on the drop down. As I said, we only have one bank, so that's why we are having Premium Trust. Now we're going to select the date we're going to be paying, which is the same today. Then what are we paying? Please select the vendor ABC stationery. Oh, sorry. Is it ABC stationary? They did not indicate. Okay, both free for 5,000. So there's no information there. But in the real sense, there would always be someone you are buying from. So if it is fuel station, you want to name it, or if it is any other thing you want to name these people you buy fuel from, or the company, of course, the fuel station should have a name. Please include them here. Okay, so remaining, I think 10 minutes, still holding down. So we can still go ahead. Maybe in 4 minutes, we start the other one. Okay, so now for this our instruction, there is no vendor name indicated. So it means we can just go ahead without including the pay to the order of. But I always advise people to put pay to the order of so that you can categorize your expenses, you can check your report and analyze who and who are being paid these amounts and what are you paying them for and what are the services that you've enjoyed from these persons so you can know the value for your money. Now, if you come to this other side, we're going to select for fuel. So let's type in fuel. Let's see if we have fuel. Good, we don't have fuel. So it means we have to create fuel. But I don't necessarily need to go to I don't necessarily need to go to check. I can just type in fuel. I can just type in fuel and then click on the tab button on my keyboard. It will ask me to do fuel is not in the account list. I want to set up, so I click on setup. Then I just leave it on expense. Then click on continue. Then you have it here. Account name, account type, expense, then save and close. Is here now. So how much? So our fuel expense is 5,000. So I'm going to click on 5,000 and go to save and close. So let me do save and close because that is just the information. Okay, they say account is fuel and oil. Oh, sorry, my mistake. There's fuel and oil, so it's supposed to be fuel and oil, not just fuel, right? I did not check everything the down. So it's supposed to be fuel and oil. Okay. So let me quickly just save and close and I start the next one and share it on the platform.